Hi there everyone, welcome back to another very exciting chess game from the history of chess from 1860. Well, I changed my shirt by the way because it's for about 40 degrees Celsius. It's unbelievably hot. There is incredible amount of humid, mosquitoes, and it's terrible. And I'm a cold weather guy, I'm a winter guy. And I start to feel like a penguin in the middle of the Sahara Desert. So I'm sorry, I'm changing my style for a while. Also, a small side note, I might go back to my old style because I don't know, what do you think? I mean, if you have any opinions about my style, should I go back to my old style without showing my face? I would like to hear some of your opinion. That's it, okay? You can write in the comment section because I think the sound quality was better in the old style when I was not showing myself, because I can lean forward and talk close to the microphone, and that sounds better. And I was making chess videos in a different room, in the basement actually. So anyway, just a small side note. It's unbelievably hot. Okay, so I hate summer. I'm sorry. With this global warming, it's unbearable. It's unbelievable. It's terrible. So anyway, I have a Wilhelm Steinitz game to show you in today, in 1860, and a romantic Steinitz was incredible. So after, let's say in 1870s or 80s, I believe, especially in 1880s, he became a positional chess player. So he changed his style to a more positional style, and he was not playing basically in the style of romantic chess. But in 1860s, he was basically playing like Paul Morphy. I mean, there was basically no difference. It was basically the same. Okay, I mean, very similar at least, if no big difference. So let's see what happened in this chess game. I think you will enjoy this. So Steinitz is playing with the rook odds. He was such a strong chess player. He didn't even need one of his rooks to crush his opponent. So let's see e4, e5, f4, and this is king's gambit stuff. So g5, bishop to c4, bishop to g7, and then d4. d6 and castling, knight to c6, c3, and then h6. Okay, so white is a rook down, and white needs to do something about it. I mean, white needs to act very quickly, and take some important risks, basically. This is what we are going to see. And why black played h6? Well, actually, usually developing moves is better. So if you would develop your knight to, let's say, f6, white could take the pawn. Knight takes on g5 was possible. Okay, so actually h6 is a nice prophylactic move. But then g3 by Steinitz. So it's very simple. I mean, he wants to open the f file, and black did captured f takes on g3. And this opens the f file, and also the bishop is aiming the king. So you can see that this is looking pretty dangerous for black. The bishop is aiming on f7, and the rook is also, I mean, the f file is open. It looks very dangerous for black against Steinitz, but okay, Steinitz is a rook down. So materially speaking, black is much better, but Steinitz seizes the opportunity, and he is basically immediately charging to the throat. Bishop takes on f7, kaboom. And we have king to e7. And what happens if capturing the bishop? If king takes on f7, then knight to e5, discovered check, double check. And okay, it looks dangerous. For example, there are so many different lines in this possible continuation, but if king to e8, then we have check, and then checkmate. It's that simple. If king to e8, and after discovered check, double check, if king to e6, then we can push the pawn. If king takes knight, then bishop to e3, threatening bishop to d4, and it is looking a little bit dangerous for black. And obviously, if king to e7, then knight to g6, forking the king and the rook is possible. Rook in to f7 is also possible. But black can survive actually. Black has some chances in that possible continuation. But of course, the most simple one is king to e8 and then basically getting checkmated. And maybe this is what black saw in his mind's eye. So he didn't want to take the bishop. This is why, black was a weak player. Of course, Steinitz is giving up the rook before the chess game against his opponent. But capturing the bishop and then getting away with it was possible according to the engine. Okay, so king to e7, not capturing the bishop anyway, and then capturing the knight, queen takes, and then e5, another logical move by Wilhelm Steinitz. Well, basically, he wants to open some lines when the king is in the center. And according to the general principles of chess, when your opponent's king is in the center, it's usually a logical idea to push the e or the d pawn, actually, according to the general principles of chess. So Steinitz is following the general principles. He had a decent amount of understanding, of course, the first official world chess champion. e5 by Steinitz. And we have d takes on e5 and then queen to d3. So activating the queen, not wasting time with capturing the pawn. He wants to open the e file anyway. So queen to h7, queen to c4. So targeting the tender square of f7. If moving the knight, the rook and the queen, teamwork is going to look very dangerous. It looks intimidating. And if developing the bishop to e6, then we can push the pawn, forking the knight and the bishop. That is also possible. There is also in-between check. So the king is in the center, and Steinitz has a promising position, actually, even though he surrendered his rook before the game. So we have queen to g6 and then d5. So queen to g6 may be defending on f7. But after d5, if moving the knight, then queen takes on c7 is looking annoying for black, of course. And then moving the knight, and the f file is also going to be open. So we have g4, attacking the knight and knight to h4, and capturing, check, saving some time, king to h1 and defending the queen and attacking the knight. Well, Steinitz played pawn takes knight, but we have bishop to e6. Actually, if capturing the knight this time actually white has forced checkmate, queen to f7, check, a deadly check. So bishop to d7 and then checkmate. And if king to d6, we have a sick king hunting. Rook to d1, king takes. If king to c5, then bishop to e3. So check, check, and then checkmate. Okay. Very nice stuff. So obviously, black can't capture the knight because he's getting force checkmated. So this is why bishop to e6, but this c pawn is going to become a very dangerous pass pawn. First, we have in-between move check, and after moving the king, capturing the pawn, and the pawn is very dangerous. So defending the rook, what else? Black doesn't have any time to capture the knight. And maybe checking is possible, but then Steinitz played, blocking with the knight is also possible. b3, silence before the storm. So he can activate his bishop to a3, and this bishop is going to be a very strong piece. So queen takes knight, and then we have check, and this is a deadly check. King to e7 and bishop to a3. So this is why he pushed the b pawn so that he can activate his bishop. So in this position, actually, if bishop to d7, then we have check and then check, and bishop takes on c5, check, mate, force checkmate basically. So blocking with the bishop is not possible. If blocking with the rook, we can take the bishop or push to pawn, both of them should be winning very easily. So let's say pushing the pawn, queen, and should be winning very easily for white. Or we can capture the bishop, check, and then later we can push the pawn. So check, king to e7, and bishop to a3, rook to d6, capturing the pawn, rook is pinned, and after moving the king back, Steinitz captured the rook, and black resigned. This is too much for black, because both attacking the bishop, threatening to push the pawn, promoting the queen, there is double threat, there is no defense, disaster everywhere. What an incredible, smashing, crashing chess game by Wilhelm Steinitz. Romantic Steinitz was something else. He was something else, he was amazing. It's so fun to watch. He was basically playing just like Paul Morphy, and I don't see a serious, very big difference between Steinitz from 1860s and Morphy. Actually, I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see a huge difference. Okay, so let me show you the possible continuation. Possible continuation, it sounds funny, but let's say bishop to f7, queen, and checkmate. Or queen to d8, just for fun, queen takes bishop, and then checkmate. A very nice odds game by Wilhelm Steinitz. So, okay, thank you so much for watching. I think I have never showed this chess game before, so I hope that you have enjoyed watching this, and I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games from the history of chess. So again, what do you think about the style of the channel? Should I go back to the old style and not show my mugshot? So I think so far it's quite a disaster in my opinion, but okay, I don't care. Some very nice, very kind people are still following my channel. They are so loyal. Thank you so much. It's okay. This is just a hobby for me. This is not my life or something. Don't get me wrong. But I enjoy doing this. And okay, so I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. I would like to hear your opinions, by the way, if you have time. Just stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.